Rainier Avenue Radio.
Do you feel uneasy on your feet? Need assistance to walk? Do you use a wheelchair and want to stand more? What if you could stand stronger, feel steadier on your feet? What would this mean for your daily life? Join our dance-based walking program to improve balance, coordination, strength, and stamina. Wednesdays in July and August at 2 p.m. at the iconic Columbia City Theater in partnership with Rainier Avenue Radio and Hugs and Power Nonprofit. Walkers, wheelchairs, and canes welcome. If you can stand and bear weight for even just 5 seconds, come dance to walk with Tango Stride.
1, 2, get down.
What's up, big and little homies? This is Masvita Maraire, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
See a bad. Yo, what's good? It's D-Money, and you should definitely check out Fresh Juice every Wednesday, 9 to 11 Pacific, right on Rainier Avenue Radio.
With pint-sized Patron, P-Treasy to Don. Y'all be sure to clean your mirrors as we play brand new hip-hop and R&B from locals and worldwide.
Which ID yourself, a.k.a. Malcolm Flex. Make sure you check out Fresh Juice every Wednesday, Pacific Standard Time from 9 to 11 p.m. And to get those exclusive interviews that we be doing.
Sipping a brand new fresh juice every single week.
Every Wednesday, 9 to 11, Rainier Avenue Radio. Yeah.
This is Tyrone with God Is, and the inspiration of gospel music also on Rainier Avenue Radio.org. We give out free food each and every Saturday from 11 to 2. And so we want you to come on out and support us. We love on your community. And we also have a fish fry once a month. We want to raise funds, put back into the community. And so come on and support us. We need your love. And also, if you want to be connected with us, go to Rainier Avenue Radio.org, to the website, Facebook, Instagram, and God Is. And as God Is got a website, we need your help, community. So come on out and get your free food each and every Saturday it is. And so we asking for donation, whatever you feel to give from your heart to the mind. And as we doing it right here for you, go to our website and touch love and give back. And so come on by 810 23rd Avenue, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your community radio station and inspiration of all the things we do in your community.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio,
your community radio station.
I go work like a doctor. When I rock the mic, you got to like the way I operate.
Hello, I'm Granville Emerson, and welcome to LidLine Sports, along with my co-host Renault, Pepe Bean. Hey, repping those Mariners, and Otis, Lil O Stevenson. You Mariners in the house too. I got my M's cap in the background, so I'm with it. Over that shoulder, that shoulder right there. M's cap in the background, yeah, right there. Julio Rodriguez is showing out at the home run derby so far. 32 and 30 home runs. Nobody's even close to that. Thoughts?
That boy. Yeah, it's impressive. Very impressive. He is killing.
21 years old.
Man.
Yeah. But hey, the Mariners needed something like Julio to come around, didn't he? Or didn't they? Yeah.
For sure.
Go ahead, Pat.
I was going to say, yeah, definitely. You know, they thought Kelnick might be that guy, coming into last year, towards the end of the year. And then, of course, starting off this year, but he didn't work out. It was questioned whether even Julio was going to even begin the season, with the Mariners this year. But man, spring training, they couldn't bring him, they had to bring him up. So, and of course, now that he's an all-star and showing out here in the home run derby, it was the right move.
He is a all-star, the only rookie that will be playing in the Major League Baseball All-Star game tomorrow night at Chavez Ravine. That would be at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. I cannot wait for next July when the All-Star game is here.
Yeah.
I will, God willing, be at the home run derby. I don't really care about the game. I'm going to be at the home run derby, though. Y'all going?
I'll be right next to you. Especially
we can do the show right from there.
Yeah, we should do that. Let's plan on doing that. That's a bet. Matter of fact, Rainier Avenue Radio, get us the tickets. Thank you very much. Daniel, tell Tony about that. We got a year to plan it. LidLine Sports live at the Home Run Derby. Yes, sir.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, the kid is really good, man. The kid is really good. There were some other outstanding feats over the weekend in the world of track and field. Did you know that Team Jamaica swept the women's 100 meters? That's first, second, and third place. Nobody medaled at the World Championships in the women's 100 unless they were from Jamaica. And check this out. Shelly Ann Price won her 5th gold medal. There's no woman in the history of track and field that has won 5 World Championship gold medals at the 100 meters. Give Shelly Ann Price her flowers. That's a bad woman.
Yes.
Then Allison Felix, there's Shelly Ann Price and all of her gold glory yellow hair, the fastest woman in the world. Moving on, Daniel, to Allison Felix, who ran her final race at the World Athletics Championships, which were down the street in Eugene, Oregon, just 5 hours down I-5, short drive for Otis. She also, speaking of Alex Felix, and watching Albert Pujols still alive in the home run derby is kind of cool too, by the way. It's a segue. But Allison Felix, 11 Olympic medals, 19 World Championship medals, most World Champion medals of any track and field athlete in history. Let me repeat that. Nobody has won more World Championship medals than Allison Felix. Allison Felix. She is the most decorated female athlete track and field star ever. USC's own Allison Felix. What a wonderful career. We want to give her bouquet of flowers right now. She deserves it for her work on the track and off the track. She stood up for women's birthrights when they tried to not let her run after having a baby. And she stood up, and that has allowed other women also to not have to worry about making a choice between running and bearing children. And so shout out to Allison Felix on her wonderful, 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 wonderful career. Any thoughts on her, Pep or Otis?
Well, I gotta brag because Allison Felix is related to my 2 oldest daughters. They are her cousin, so shout out for that. So yeah, you said it pretty eloquently about Allison Felix.
Does that mean you might get invited to the barbecue, Shelby?
Yeah, I guess I could.
All right.
Yeah. So.
No, she's one of the greats. I think of women track stars, sprinters. Think of her, Marion Jones. Those are two big names that come to mind. So, shout out to her and her career. It's been a long, legendary one. Women and men, she's one of the greatest sprinters, U.S. sprinters to definitely touch the track for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right, on to NFL Pep Talk. Pep, training camp starts this week.
Yes, sir. Rookies reported to camp for Buffalo and the Vegas Raiders today, and the veterans will report tomorrow. And these are the first two teams for players reporting this week. Over the next few days, remaining this week and into next week. By the end of next week, all 32 teams will be in full swing. And for those that have local interest in the Seattle Seahawks, they will report Tuesday, July 26th. So now, do you know why there's such a disparity as far as when teams report? G or O? Maybe you guys know.
Doesn't it depend on when their first game is? Preseason game?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know that the Raiders play first. They play the Jacksonville Jaguars in the Hall of Fame game on August 4th. So that's pretty obvious why the Raiders would be starting off so early. And I'm sure Jacksonville probably will get underway themselves this particular week. But so that's going to be pretty self-evident that way. But the Seahawks, like I said, they start next week. Along other teams start also next week. So I think this first preseason game for the Seahawks will be the weekend of the 11th of August through the 14th. That'd be like from Thursday to Sunday, I guess. So I think everybody will start off then their preseason play. So
yeah, I do know that teams have a choice whether to start the camp rookies only or rookies and veterans at the same time.
Right, and I think the Seahawks are both at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's already some unhappy coaches in Tampa because no, Tom Brady's okay, and Tampa's fine with Gronk being retired, so to speak. But the news out of Tampa is that Leonard Fournette is not in the best of game shape. He usually comes in at about 228, 230 to run for the regular season. Of course, he skipped OTAs during the off season, but he reported to mandatory minicamp, and Fournette tipped the scales at, what do you think he tipped the scales at, guys?
I don't know. I'll take a guess. 274.
You went out there, bro. No, he was at 260, which ain't that far off.
He came in overweight.
260. So he's
you had to give me a barometer. You're like, what did he weigh? What did he weigh last season?
Well, bro, I gave you the barometer when I said that his playing weight is 228 to 230.
Oh, I missed that. I was looking at Albert Pujols. My bad.
Oh, no worries. Okay. So I did give it to you, but no problem. His playing weight is between 228 and 230, they said. So.
Okay, so he came in 20 pounds overweight at 247, 250, right? What?
260.
Ooh.
That's
he
a
was
lot of
getting
weight.
his Raising Cane's on, huh? He was fast food eating.
Yeah. So they're not too thrilled about that.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah. So I hope. Now, we haven't heard anything about Penny. I certainly hope that Penny comes in shape next week. I guess we'll find out next week, won't we?
I guess so.
Yeah.
It can be a big part of what the Seahawks do next season.
Yeah.
What's running back's name, Pep? Ken.
Oh, Kenneth Walker.
Ken Walker.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker the third. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look for that dude to be the number one running back.
Yeah, well, we'll see. And finally, the Madden.
Gronk,
Yeah, go ahead.
Before you leave the Tampa Bay Pep, I don't know what's wrong with me today. My eyes are burning for one thing. Pep, before you leave Tampa Bay, I just want to say, Gronk is either going to show up after Labor Day or in December, but he ain't retired.
I believe that. That's why I put when I said retired, I put him in those, those quotations. Okay. You might have missed it, but I did do that. So yeah, I agree with you for sure. I don't believe he's retired permanently anyway. And so finally, you guys hear that the Madden 23 player rankings have come out. Every year, Madden comes out with the rankings for every position and what their rating is as far as the game is concerned. And it's based out of a 100 score. And the big news is who is not in the top 10 as far as wide receivers go. What do you think the Bengals' Jamar Chase, where do you think he fit in as far as the Madden ranking went? Maybe not the ranking, excuse me, but rather his score. Now we're based out of 100, so what do you think his score was?
90.
A 90?
No, he's a rookie.
Well, I'll tell you, the top score was 99, and that's Devontae Adams. So I'll give you something. And the low end would be Amari Cooper at 90. Okay, so where do you think Jamar Chase would be?
Well, Daniel's already put it all up on the screen, so everybody knows.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Wait. So no, we don't know what Jamar Chase is, though, because he's not in the top 10.
Right. He is not in the top 10. He came out with an 87 out of 100. And then he tweeted, well, I just got to work harder, and it's great motivation for me. So at least he's got the right attitude.
I don't understand how they can have Terry McLaurin and Keenan Allen ahead of Tyler Lockett.
It's almost.
Well, let me run down the top 10 real quick since you brought names up. We got Devontae Adams at a 99 at number 1, and these are in order. So Devontae is number 1. You got Cooper Kupp at a 98. You got Tyreek Hill at a 97. DeAndre Hopkins at a 96. Stephon Diggs at a 95. Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings at a 93. Mike Evans from Tampa, 92. Terry McLaurin at 91. Keenan Allen at 91. And finally, number 10, Amari Cooper is at 90. So there's no Tyler and no DK in the top 10. Not even no Deebo, if you think about it. No Deebo Samuel in the top 10 either.
Well,
so what do you guys think?
Jamar Chase should, for sure, in my opinion, be ahead of Mike Evans. If we're just basing this off of just skill, and then I would think that Madden also puts in or aligns stats with rankings. In my opinion, Jamar Chase is better than him. And
I will tell you this. Hold on. I will tell you this, that Madden is notorious for not ranking second-year players, even regardless of how they did their rookie year, too high. So even Tom Brady, when he was being ranked years ago, he said he got a low score as well. So, but I do agree with you. Oh,
that's what I was going to say. Second, that I'm just not surprised. Maybe them just not ranking him high because he's a younger player. But just like I said, what he did on the field last year as a number 1 option, making to the Super Bowl with his numbers as a rookie, ain't no way that he's not top 10. But I just think it's funny that, where we're at now in this social media era, like how big like these Madden ratings have become and the 2K ratings and players getting involved and tweeting after they see him. It's fun to see, for a video game. It's just a video game, but I get it. I get it.
And you guys remember last year during preseason, Jamar Chase was dropping everything, and there was even questions of whether he was going to make a catch in the NFL, and he came out like gangbusters during the regular season. So who knows? Preseason means nothing, obviously.
Yeah, he was trying not to get hurt during preseason. I ain't catching that. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't care about rankings.
It's just a video game.
Yeah, I don't.
Yep. So that's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
Well,
That's all?
one quick thing. My Pittsburgh Steelers changed the name of their stadium from Heinz Field to Acrisure Stadium. So and they took the ketchup bottles down today. So
Acrisure.
Yeah, Acrisure. It's an insurance company out of Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to training camp starting, getting underway, and I want to take a moment, and we'll start with you, Otis Lil O Stevenson, and you tell us your team that you're going to be behind all season long, not jumping on somebody else's bandwagon. Give me your team in the NFC, your team in the AFC, and your overall ride or die team.
Dang, I know I was getting put on the spot like this.
That's next.
Okay.
You're young. We just start with the young one this time instead of the old dude. He just got through talking. Want to hear some words out of your mouth right now?
I like, because I'm the young guy. I do like seeing the young guys perform. So I am looking forward now. I'm looking forward now to see what the Cincinnati Bengals do. That they have the whole NFL on notice. I think Jamar Chase and I can't think of the quarterback's name. Oh, Joe Burrows. I think they're an elite 1-2 combo. Hopefully that it's shoring up a little bit on that offensive line, especially when you have an elite young quarterback. But I think that they can turn back around and get back to at least the AFC Championship. NFC, man, that's tough. If we're just talking about a team that I'm going to enjoy watching, it's hard to cheer against Tom Brady for me, just personally. Just seeing what that guy has done on the field in his career, seeing him come back out again, just knowing that the will that he has to play to win championships. It's going to be interesting to see what those guys can do and see if they can run it back again and at least get back to the Super Bowl. So it's going to be fun for me to see the Bengals, and it's definitely going to be fun to see if it's his last go around. It's going to be fun for me to see Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And then overall, I mean,
all season long.
I guess I'm rooting for Tom Brady to win it all. In this sense, like I said, my Seahawks aren't good. And you know what? For you saying that, for you putting me out blast like that, I want to hear what you're going to say, or what both of you guys are going to say. So, yeah, I'm keeping an eye, especially on my Seahawks. But yeah, I want to see what y'all got to say.
Okay, so you're jumping off the Seahawks bandwagon and getting on the Tom Brady bandwagon? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what he said.
Is that what I'm hearing?
No, that is not what we're hearing this year. I'm watching Tom Brady. I would like to see him do it. So that's all I'm saying.
All right, Pep.
Well, my ride or die in the AFC is going to be Pittsburgh. So, but that's not going to be the team to look out for. I think the team to look out for probably in the AFC. I think there's two. It's hard to pick one. I know you hate the Chargers coach, G. But it looks like the Chargers, with the defensive players that they've gotten and their offense, they look like the team that's ready to make that next step up. And the other team I like in the AFC is the Miami Dolphins. I like what they're doing, especially their backfield. So, but of course we know the quarterback situation in Miami is a little iffy. So, but that's my B team as far as that's concerned. Now in the NFC, again.
Well, you picked three teams in the AFC. You're
well,
out of bounds.
No.
You're out of bounds.
No. Here's what you said. You said ride or die.
I said pick an AFC team, an NFC team, and your ride or die team. So
Well,
if you pick the AFC team that's won, your ride or die team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. That only leaves you with one NFC team left to pick, bro.
All right, then. Well, NFC, I'm gonna go with New Orleans as my sleeper, because I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Jameis Winston and Michael Thomas click, and if they click, and if Alvin Kamara can, well, is he gonna be Pip? I don't know how long he's gonna be suspended. I haven't heard anything about that. But if they can get their regular offense going with Kamara and Michael Thomas back, they should be something to look out for.
Okay.
As a sleeper.
I like that pick, Pep. I like that NFC pick. Jameis, he's been working out. You've been seeing Jameis's workout videos on the social media?
Yeah.
Working out. Having dudes hit the ball while he's in the pocket so he won't fumble. Let's see how many times he fumbles this year. As many times dudes was whacking him on his arms and whacking the football, and he wasn't even letting it go. So I would imagine that's got to be a different drill when you're just trying to hold on the ball as opposed to trying to throw the ball. Anyway, so you guys are interested in mine?
Nah.
I am.
No.
For sure, of course.
Well, I'm gonna give it to you guys just because, and I just want to say I don't know why my eyes are watering, but maybe because Pure Parent let Otis just jump off the bandwagon. You know what Pure Parent is, Otis? Rhonda Dorsey. Rhonda Dorsey's aliens tonight. she just came on the little thing as Pure Parent. So I was like, who is that? Oh, that's Rhonda. So anyway, I have to say for the AFC, the team to watch is the Buffalo Bills for me, because I said a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away that their quarterback was going to be very good, and he should have been the number one pick in the draft. And so they have a very good team. I think they're motivated after losing in the last 13 seconds to the Kansas City Chiefs last year. I'm not sure how well the Chiefs will adapt to not having Tyreek Hill to take the top off the defense. I understand they have your former receiver, Pep, from Pittsburgh. I can't think of what his name is, though. What's his name?
Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster. Yeah, he's not an adequate replacement for Tyreek Hill in my book.
Not even close.
And so we'll see how Patrick Mahomes is able to adjust. Now, sports fans, I say that because Tyreek Hill was so fast, they had to play deep, which allowed their tight end to get open underneath a lot. Speaking of the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know how well their offense will be able to adjust without Tyreek Hill. That is to be determined. So my team, my AFC team, is the Buffalo Bills.
Good choice.
My NFC team is the Los Angeles Rams. Okay? And that is because I feel like they're just going to be better after having a year under them. And they're spending so much money retaining players and acquiring players that their roster is really, really good still. Yeah. And as for, I just want to address the San Diego Chargers. The San Diego Chargers, also known as the Los Angeles Chargers, will forever in my mind be just like the Los Angeles Clippers. There will be the Rams and there will be the Chargers. Like they're the Lakers and the Clippers playing in the same building. They're playing in the same building, they're going to be the B team, JV team, whatever you want to call them. That's what they're going to be. So until they prove to me, because what they look like to me, Pep, is the the LA Chargers, Clippers, when they got Paul George and the dude from Toronto.
Kawhi.
Yeah. And they were supposed to win a championships, but they didn't because they're the Clippers.
It ain't over yet, though.
The Chargers will do the same thing because they're the Chargers. What'd you say, O?
I said, the run ain't over yet, though.
The run ain't over?
No.
It's over. They had their window. That league, come on, man. You watch the NBA Summer League. That league is young, man.
I know. I love it. I love it. I love that.
Is young. Them young boys is coming. They're all together different. All together different game now. And also, let me finish this up with my team that I'm riding with this year. Who knows who I'm riding with this year? Is it the Seahawks?
I'm gonna put
HE double hockey sticks? No. I am not riding with the Seahawks. I am riding with Denver and the Broncos until the wheels fall off. And Russell Wilson has to prove to me that he's not the Russell Wilson that's led Seattle to the playoffs 8 out of the 10 years that he's been playing. So people think that he's over the hill. I do not. And he's going to have to prove to me that he is. And I think he's going to go into Denver and he's going to take them dudes into the playoffs. I don't know how far, but into the playoffs. I'm riding with him all the way. And I got a bunch of people that are talking about me, but here's why. I have been a Russell Wilson, my number one QB since he was drafted. Just like Pep said. Pep said he watched the Rose Bowl. And what'd you say, Pep? He was doing the same things he was doing in the Rose Bowl, right? Oh, that was Rick Dupree. That was Rick Dupree, not you, Pep. My bad. Same thing.
No, I said it too.
But I did say, Pep, that he was going to take Matt Flynn's job, and he did. And nobody even heard of Matt Flynn since. So you don't get rid of the best quarterback in your franchise history in his prime. That's unheard of. So I am protesting Pete Carroll and leaving the Seahawks because Pete did my QB1 wrong. And I also said, Pep, when we were talking about it, whether or not Russell Wilson would leave, and I said he left North Carolina State because they mistreated him and did not respect him and went to Wisconsin. So if the Seahawks do that, he's going to leave them too. But Pete told everybody they wasn't trading Russell Wilson for 3 straight months. Meanwhile, they were working to trade Russell Wilson. Come on, man. And they traded him to the Broncos. They approached the Broncos with the trade. Schneider. So, get out of here, Seahawks. I hope you go 2-15.
Yeah, he probably will.
Time to go to break. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about the association. Summer League was fantastic. And whatever else Otis has to talk about when we come back. Don't go away. You got a lot to talk about right after this.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio Traffic Update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio Traffic Update.
How would COVID vaccines work in your body? Here are 3 things to know. Number 1, a vaccine is basically a training session for the immune system. Vaccines teach the immune system to look for the key features of a virus. So when a virus does show up, it's ready to fight it off. Number 2, a vaccine gives your body a plan to recognize the virus. Then your immune system starts preparing by making antibodies, or fighter cells, that stay in your blood as protection in case the virus tries to invade. What this means is you get immunity against the disease without having to get sick first. Number 3, when enough people's bodies know how to fight off a virus, it has nowhere to go. That slows the spread. When people get a vaccine, we're able to stop the spread quicker and get closer to ending the pandemic. To learn more, go to covidvaccinewa.org. A message from the state of Washington.
Welcome to the Fitness Corner. I'm your host, Mark Bryant, and you're going to get a whole total body workout on my show, starting off with a warm-up, aerobics, strength training, cool down, and stretching every Friday from 11:30 to 12 right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
What's on your heart? Are you exhausted at the lack of progress for people of color in business, politics, and life? This is Cindy Bright, the host of Heartbeat Radio. Each week, we explore this heart condition in the country that is affecting you and me. We have real conversations about
81 in 3 rounds. Wow.
It's time to change this dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Join Heartbeat Weekly, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Rainier Avenue Radio.
He's got 81 total. That's crazy.
When you buckle a seatbelt. It's kind of magic when we put our phones out of reach, like in the glove compartment, or give extra room for someone on their bike. That little act of stopping to let someone cross the street, it's a thing of beauty. Even getting a ride home after drinking is heroic. Because doing all the little things feels like keeping us safe on the road. Together, we get there. A message from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not driving my sweet AMC Pacer through the car wash, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. You missed a spot.
Welcome back to LidLine Sports. I'm Granville Emerson. I want to thank all of you for listening and watching on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and all of our podcast platforms. Thank you very much. I'm with my co-host Renault Pepe Bean and Otis Lil O Stevenson. Yes, Pep, Julio Rodriguez has hit 81 home runs in the home run derby and 18 in the final round, and now we're waiting to see if he's the winner. Because who's up next?
Soto.
Yeah,
and, and that's who I picked to win the thing.
Juan Soto?
Yeah, before everything started, I picked him.
Hey, guess what? You're still alive.
Yeah, but I don't want him to now.
If you got money on it, though, you should be worried. No money.
No money. No money. I'm not worried.
Okay. All right. To the National Basketball Association. What's going on, O?
You segued into it. NBA Summer League was going on for the last 2 weeks. Just ended yesterday or a couple days ago. The Portland Trail Blazers won the Summer League championship. They came out with the new little Summer League rings that was given to the champions this year. I don't know if y'all saw those. Yeah. Sacramento Kings rookie Keegan Murray was named Summer League MVP. He averaged about 22 points a game in about 4 games. You hit it right on the head. I was watching Summer League over the week, and it just dawned across my head there's a new era of basketball just coming as our eyes are watching. And these dudes are just skilled across the board. Notables that I've seen out there, Paolo Banchero, of course, played only 2 games. Boy, did he stat stuff. Not only just score, but he just stat stuff. And he just looked so comfortable in an NBA basketball setting. He looked really good. Benedict Mathurin was somebody I liked watching for the Indiana Pacers. He averaged 19 points a game. And then Tari Eason. What was that?
This Pep's guy.
Oh, yeah, Benedict Mathurin, out of Arizona, really good player. And then Tari Eason out of Garfield High School. He put on a really good showing for the Houston Rockets. I think they got a really good add-on with Tari. He averaged 17 points a game. And then some second-year players. Cam Thomas led the Summer League in scoring again, second time in a row, 27 points a game. That boy just knows how to fill it up for the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in limbo. You know, maybe he'll get more opportunity next year to show that. And then Quentin Grimes, guard out of New York Knicks, second-year player, averaged 22 points a game. But it was hard just to name 5. Like I said, it was just watching the skill set alone across the NBA Summer League, man. These older guys, these older superstars who are now, you know, we're starting to see that turn of the LeBron James, Steph Curry's, Kevin Durant's, and guys like that. We're starting to see them pass it on to the John Morants, Devin Bookers, and Jason Tatum. But then following behind are just these young studs that are coming up into the NBA. It's going to be, I don't know how to put that, you guys. Anybody who really loves the game will notice. But, you know, a lot of guys with this whole era, my era, that, man, oh, man, these young players, they just know how to play the game. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, it just has a lot to do with how these guys train, and how they start at a young, early age, and how much is available to them at a young, early age. I just never seen players be so skilled at such an early age. You guys' thoughts on these young players in Summer League?
Pep?
Yeah, well, I want to attribute a lot of that to coaching, right? And the way that nowadays, here in this year of 2022, the advancements of training and facilities and workouts, you know, it's totally different from 1965 to 2022, right? I mean, and so the players and the athleticism reflect that.
Yeah.
And so as the coaching, like Granville and his peers, the way they coach their players and the way they condition them and work them out, it's phenomenal, and it's going to keep on getting better and better, I feel, and I like to see it. You know, we want to see these kind of advances as these kids get old. You know, as the years go by and the kids get younger. I mean, you know, that are young, that are developing as quick as they are. It's awesome to see. You know, the NBA is much changed over the years. Remember back in the day, you remember, they used to have 10-round drafts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know, you were a 7th round pick, and you weren't guaranteed to even make the team. So nowadays, with it's so competitive now with only 2 rounds. You've got to be trained, you got to be ready, you've got to be skilled in order to make the team. And I think it's a good thing, especially for the product of the NBA.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, and Pep too. Number one, they are way more skilled. And number two, that can be attributed to the fact that they've had good coaching and good training. And I think that another aspect of it is that you cannot undervalue is the social media aspect of it, where kids, social media, and I'll always say this too, whether it's Madden or NBA 2K, because kids learn skills from those video games. They go out and they try what they see in the video game. Now, remember, like when Kobe was coming up, Kobe would take summers off and go train with Akeem Olajuwon to learn Akeem's footwork, right? Now, dang near every top kid has that same footwork, right? They know how to use their pivot foot, right? They know how to shot fake, escape dribble, pull up, reverse pivot, lay the ball in with their opposite hand. They know how to do all that kind of stuff at a young age. I saw a video yesterday of a kid doing that. Like, he was like 12 years old. He took 2 hard dribbles right, pivoted back to his left, and laid the ball in with his left hand at 12 years old. And so that kind of stuff wasn't happening when we were growing up, for sure, Pep. Mm-hmm. We were just working on our jumper, right, Pep? That jumper had to be money. we weren't doing all that footwork stuff that they're doing now.
No, not like that. No,
not like that. And so it's just amazing to me. And I'm watching the summer league, and I'm just thinking, man, there's so much talent out there, and those dudes aren't even in the league, you know.
Exactly.
And dudes shoot the three so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's shooting the three well. Like maybe not so much mid range now, but dudes are doing that. And you brought up Paulo Banchero. He is, to me, exhibit A of a guy who had raw talent. And to me, from his junior year of high school to now, has just worked on his game to get it to where it is now. And because he's had access to trainers, he's had access to the best coaching at Duke. And so his game has developed. And so you see a lot of these kids now, they don't have the fear factor or the awe factor of, oh, wow, I'm playing against this person or that person, because they play against these dudes in pickup games or at the Drew League or whatever. Most of these guys played against each other at EYBL or another shoe company invitational tournament where they play against guys across the country. When I was growing up, you had the opportunity to play at the McDonald's All-American game and Diaper Dan in DC, and that was basically it. If you weren't good enough to make that, you didn't play against other players across the country. And so now they all play against each other. They all know each other, right? And so there's no, oh, wow, about this dude. It's like, okay, that's him. I'm going at him. And so I like the young talent that's coming up. I'm very interested to see. And I like the fact that the young talent growing up has also understood to win championships, you have to play defense. And they play defense as well. So I think the NBA game is going to get better because you'll have a lot of young dudes coming in trying to make a name for themselves, playing defense, and hopefully sustaining that over an 82-game season. Because the problem has been guys wouldn't play really until the fourth quarter during the 82-game season and then start playing defense in the playoffs and then get hurt because they ain't been doing it all season long. And so it's an interesting time. But I agree with you, Otis. We are entering into a new generation of professional basketball.
Yep. A lot of money being put into the game of basketball, being invested into the game of basketball.
You know what amazed me, though, watching the Summer League, too, is just how global the NBA game is.
Yep.
And you saw guys from all over the world playing on different teams. Yep. That was really cool to see.
Speaking of the Drew League, go ahead and segue right into that real quick. Some quick NBA news over the weekend. LeBron James and DeMar DeRozan pulled up to the.
Oh man, Soto beat Rodriguez.
Yeah, Soto beat Rodriguez. Looked like
1918.
Yeah, 1918.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it looked like Julio gassed out in this last round. LeBron James pulled up to Drew League, the famed Drew League in Los Angeles for a little run. DeMar DeRozan was playing alongside of him for the Cheaters team. But all eyes was on LeBron James. His first time playing in the Drew League since the NBA lockout. Sold out crowd. It was a fun game to watch, for the people who are just live and die with hoop all year round.
It's just crazy. People 3 deep lined up around the walls.
Yep. Crazy, man. And the basketball in its purest form. Everybody loves watching a game like that, without all the NBA hoopla that goes along in it. Just watching these guys get up and down the hoop. LeBron ended with 40-plus points in the dub. It was actually a close game, so it shows you the level of competition that's in the Drew League. Only DeMar DeRozan and LeBron James were the only NBA players on the court, and they played together. It was a good game. Kyrie Irving was supposed to play. Now, with his track record, a lot of people saying, "Oh, of course, Kyrie didn't show up and play." But it did look
what Kyrie do.
But it did look like he was in Sherman Oaks in LA, helping out Lakers assistant coach Phil Handy run a girls basketball camp. So I don't know if there was confusion The director of Drew League said that it was for sure that he was supposed to be there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not putting much on Kyrie because he's out running the girls' basketball camp, so I don't know what happened between them. Some free agency news. The biggest domino that was left was free agent DeAndre Ayton, restricted free agent. There were starting to be rumblings last week that Indiana Pacers was ready to offer him a 4-year max offer sheet for $133 million. It looked like the Indiana Pacers wanted to try to negotiate with the Phoenix Suns on a sign and trade before that. There was nothing there, so the Indiana Pacers went along and offered it to him. DeAndre Ayton signed it, and in about 15 to 20 minutes, the Phoenix Suns matched it. Now this was a long road. A lot of people thought that DeAndre Ayton was not coming back as a Phoenix Sun. Me being a Phoenix Suns fan, I was really on the fence about it as well. The Phoenix Suns did not want to offer DeAndre Ayton a 5-year rookie max extension when he was eligible last season. DeAndre Ayton was not accepting anything less of that. The front office of the Phoenix Suns wanted to discuss a possible 3 or 4-year max extension that gained no traction because, like I said, DeAndre Ayton wanted nothing shorter than the max compared to his draft buddies, Trae Young, Luka Doncic, which is very understandable as him being the number one player out of that draft, even though he's not, in my opinion, or a lot of people's opinion, the best player out of that draft. Friction kind of spilled over from the front office onto the floor in Phoenix Suns Game 7 loss. You guys remember DeAndre Ayton barely played in the second half against Dallas. And then when Monty Williams was asked about why DA didn't play that much, Monty clear-cut just said it's internal. So a lot led on to this. And then, with Kevin Durant wanting a trade, rumors that the Phoenix Suns was his number one option. People thought that, DeAndre Ayton could be part of a sign and trade deal to there. The rumors was that the Brooklyn Nets wasn't really interested in DeAndre Ayton on a max salary. So it was kind of inevitable for DeAndre Ayton to return back to the Phoenix Suns because the Suns didn't want to lose DeAndre Ayton for nothing. And I don't think the Phoenix Suns liked anything that the Indiana Pacers could have offered for DeAndre Ayton. They do have Miles Turner, who's a young, solid big. But, yeah, we're here now. DeAndre Ayton can't be traded until January 14th. And he has veto power of any trade for the next year. So does it sound like that KD dream is dead for the Phoenix Suns? In my opinion, not looking that great. See how much KD tries to strong arm his way to the Phoenix Suns, or if he just lets whatever happens and he ends up.
KD gonna do what KD does. If he wants out of Brooklyn, he's getting out of Brooklyn. You already know that. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I don't see him in Brooklyn next season. I see your boy Devin Booker signed a 4-year, $224 million contract.
Extension. So total of about I think a little less than $400 million overall for what he's due. Yeah, the boy got some big money. I've said it all along. People didn't really care to hear, and I know a lot of circumstances has changed. But I think Devin Booker really does consider Phoenix Suns to be home for the foreseeable future. I know when the Suns were bad, a lot of people thought that he was going to move on. I just didn't see it, and just in his body language, or even when he talked about Phoenix. So yeah, that's good for them. And then the other big splash in this offseason, the Utah Jazz, who once said that Donovan Mitchell was not going to be available, is now available for trade talks. Pep's New York Knicks has been the most thirstiest team to engage in trade talks with the Utah Jazz. It sounds like it's just going to take a boatload.
How tall is Donovan Mitchell?
6'2", if that.
So they're going to have two short guards, him and Brunson?
I don't know what I don't know what New York's doing over there. I don't. I just think that they've been so lost in getting players that they're just whoever's available, they're trying to get. Pep, what's your thought on the New York Knicks in this offseason?
Well, yeah. I don't know, man. Unless that ownership change, it's going to be the same old, same old. So that's my thought on that. As far as Utah is concerned, I think they're playing hardball the same way that Brooklyn's playing hardball against KD. Eventually, like you said, KD will probably go, but they're gonna make it hard. They're gonna make it as hard as possible. They're not just gonna accommodate him because KD has 4 years remaining on his contract. He's not a free agent next year or the year after that. So they're gonna play hardball, and I think Utah is thinking to do the same thing with Donovan Mitchell, because they asked for like 6 first rounders, and that's the thing now. Teams are asking for a ridiculous amount of draft picks and players now, knowing that that's not going to work. So they're playing games is basically what they're doing, and and I don't like to see it because it's like a joke. I mean, so I don't know. Utah is on his way down because Rudy's gone, and then of course they're talking about moving Donovan Mitchell, but are they really talking about moving Donovan Mitchell? Who knows? And then the coach has been changed, right? Quinn Snyder's gone. They did hire Jason Terry as an assistant, so we'll see how that works out. But right now I think they're just playing hardball, and they're just not going to give them up for just anything.
Well, this is kind of like that effect of player empowerment. So now owners is trying their best to take that back. And what I mean by them doing that is if they're going to lose players who are asking for trades, they're not selling themselves short of getting whatever possible asset they can get back. And I think we started seeing that with the New Orleans Pelicans in what they got back for not only Drew Holiday, but also for Anthony Davis. They got a boatload of picks. They got players. They were not going to trade Anthony Davis to the LA Lakers unless they got what they asked for. And Magic Johnson had to allow his stance. At first, it wasn't going down like that. Magic Johnson had a package in mind that he wanted to offer for Anthony Davis because he felt like they were going to be able to get him in free agency anyway. But Magic Johnson knew that he had to get him right now, and so they had to give up that price for him. So I just think that this is what front office and owners are doing now to try to win back a little bit of that power between players and owners. G, what's your thoughts on all this asking for trades?
Like Pep said, they're just playing hardball. Kevin Durant will be traded. Might not be 6 draft picks, but it'll probably be 3 first-round draft picks for him. So that's just the art of negotiation. They will come up with some kind of way, just like they did to get Anthony Davis out of New Orleans. So it's just a matter of time. And I feel like if I'm Brooklyn, I do it because if I can get a bunch of young, talented dudes, right, and build me a team the right way, exactly. that will sustain, and I don't have to pay out a lot of money. That experiment failed with them trying to acquire Harden and KD and Kyrie and all of that and all the money that they spent on that. So now let's go do it the right way. Let's go do it through the draft, and then acquire some lesser pieces to get it done. And they have a pretty good young nucleus there too.
And they had a young nucleus before they even traded KD and Kyrie.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so
they should have never got rid of Jared Allen.
Correct. So it's about correcting mistakes, and I think that's what they'll do. That's what I would do for sure. KD to me hasn't proven that he can win a championship with anybody not named the Golden State Warriors. So I'm not sold on him as the building block to win a championship. So somebody else can take that risk and his big contract. So that's my thought on the whole thing. I don't know where Kyrie ends up. I don't know. So we'll see. James Harden claims to want to take less money to stay in Philly. We'll see. I don't think you can ever win a championship with James Harden either. So
I agree with you on that. that was like the next thing I wanted to quickly touch on. Yeah, James Harden's talking about the reason why he hasn't signed yet is because he's allowing Philly to build up this roster. But just like you said, they can build up as many players as they want. It starts with the guys at the top, with James Harden and Joel Embiid. So they can build up as much as he wants. He can take as much of his money as he wants. He can. Hopefully, he's putting himself in better shape.
It starts $30 million at DJ Tucker. Come on, man.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, you know, once you make a big mistake, you cover it up with a bunch of other little mistakes. Like they should have never got rid of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
That was the end of their process. Trust the process. They did not trust the process and got rid of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
If they had Jimmy Butler, they won a world championship by now.
They decided to sign your boy Tobias instead.
Pep will tell you, I was against that from the very beginning. I was like, who is that dude? The Clippers? I never even heard of them. $156 million? Are you kidding me? They might as well sign me for 30.
19 point a game score. Solid player. Never been an all-star. $175 million.
He does nothing in the playoffs. What's his playoff?
Nothing. Nothing.
Points in someone.
Yeah. No. Forget
That's
that.
all I got, though.
All right, so the Big Ten and the Pac-12, the Pac-12 was trying to say, Big Ten, can we please join you? Can we please? Please? Come on. And Phil Knight was out actually begging people to let Oregon join their conference, and he got no takers. So it's getting pretty interesting right now for the Pac-12. Last week I said my goodbyes to the Pac-12. Since USC and UCLA left for the Big Ten. So we'll see what happens with the Pac-12. We're all out of time. It's been a really good show. Thank you, Pepper. Thank you, O. Appreciate you both. We need to go to a Mariners game in August, the three of us.
14 in a row.
Pick a game out, guys, and let me know which one we want to go to. Thank you very much. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next week. It'll be our last show before we go on hiatus, and we will not return till after Labor Day. So see you next week. I'm Granville Emerson. My partners were Renault, Pepe, Bean, and Otis Lil O Stevenson. We'll holla. Peace.
I go to work like a doctor when I rock.